All right, welcome to the show. This is Protect Your Children Now. I'm your host, Christopher Gelson, a director and lead teacher of Protect Your Children Incorporated, with a special hurricane edition. Didn't know the show was going to go on tonight. Did not know that. So apparently over here, Tampa Bay area, everything's pretty much chilling out now. Storm blew through last night and had some pretty crazy rain today. Not that bad of wind, but a lot of rain. 5, 6, 7 inches. I don't know what it was. We had some video of the Howard Franklin Bridge. Now, interesting story with the Howard Franklin Bridge. It goes over Tampa Bay, going southbound on 275, goes over to St. Petersburg, and they're actually in the process of building a new bridge right now, which is going to be like 8 lanes. It's a ginormous project they're doing. But the idea behind that is they're going to demolish the northbound bridge that comes into Tampa from St. Pete and Southern Points. And the reason being is because it is too low. It is too low. And every time we get a tropical storm or a hurricane, the water rises up and it floods onto the Howard Franklin Bridge, closes it down in both directions, and it's a nightmare, right? So they got this huge project. They're going to like I said, build these 8 lanes going south. They're going to reverse the southbound lanes to go north, and they're going to demolish the northbound bridge. Now, this is all supposed to be by 2025. So we'll just, pretend like it's not going to happen, right? So anyway, Facebook user, I'm going to assume that that's Maria, because, Facebook, it's so weird that it does not want to show people's names. I don't understand. Sometimes it does, sometimes it don't. Let me know if you can hear okay out there. Like, hello, is this thing working? Hopefully it's working good. Got a good show for you tonight. We're going to look into a story that was sent to me actually earlier today from one of our passionate protectors. And it's crazy because you'd think a story like this would be all over the news, right? And this guy, just a brief setup, this trucker actually spotted something that didn't seem right. Seemed kind of strange. He followed his instincts. I wonder if he watched The Sound of Freedom. Because, sometimes after watching shows like that, movies like that, you start to have more of an alert awareness of things that are going on around you. And Mary Jo, thank you for coming to the show. Hey, that rhymes. Mary Jo, thank you for coming to the show. She said, I can see and hear good. Tracy says it's all good. Thank you, Tracy, for being here. Appreciate it. So this trucker spots something, he senses something's not right, does a little investigative work, and uncovers several young girls being trafficked. And wait till you hear what he was told. Unbelievable about this, and the news isn't covering it. And it's kind of like, yeah, we know that, the mainstream media, they don't give a crap about kids. They don't want to protect kids. Are you kidding me right now? Like, it's like they're in the bag, right? They're in the money bag. And protecting kids, I guess, doesn't pay, apparently. I don't know what part of the world or the country that they're talking to, but, if they covered cases that protected kids, I'd watch more. How about you? Would you watch more? So we're going to get into that story, which is crazy. We got a Hero Kid segment, of course. Very good one. Very good Hero Kid segment. And a couple more teachers arrested. I mean, we just started the school year. What's going on here? What are we doing? Like, is there a screening process at all? Like, does there need to be psychological assessments done on all teachers coming into the school system? Yes. Yeah, I think there has to be, because maybe like psychosexual assessments or something, because how is it that we hire on new teachers and here we are, not even in Florida here, not even a month into the school year, we've already got a dozen teachers arrested for messing around with their kids. Like, wow, that moved fast, right? As the kids used to say, that escalated quickly, right? Unbelievable. Hey, by the way, this background here, I believe, is up near Cedar Key. It's at the Big Bend area of Florida, so it's not where I'm at. It's not where Protect Your Children is at. Thank you, God. It's not where our other director, Marie, is at, down near Sarasota. Thank God for that. But yeah, is that pretty wild? That hurricane went from a Category 1 to a Category 4 overnight. That's how fast it strengthened. And then it just slammed into the Big Bend area of Florida. Unbelievable. Absolutely crazy. So, yeah, we got the trucker story we're going to get into, these teachers that are getting arrested. We got an update on what we talked about last week, which is Acme on the Go. Remember Acme on the Go? We're talking about that campaign. We're trying to raise some funds so we can get our ad, which will show you what it's going to look like. Our ad will be on these trucks. Now, Acme on the Go, if you're not familiar with it, you may have seen these kinds of trucks on the road. They have digital billboards on each side of the vehicle, and they have one in the back. And they just travel around. They just travel the highways. They travel the neighborhoods. And companies pay money to have them just drive around. I mean, it's advertisement, right? Absolutely. And so we had an opportunity. We spoke with the guy who runs the local chapter of Acme on the Go. And he is partnering with the local sheriff's department for a couple of different towns and cities, or county, I should say county, because it's Hillsborough County, Pasco County. And also with some other groups, and they're going to be showing the Sound of Freedom in parks on these big, the big blow up screens, to the community. And they're advertising it. It's going to be a big, huge event. There's 2 or 3 events happening coming up in October. And I'm talking to him, and he said, it would be awesome if you would have an ad on our vehicles at the movie showings, right? Come on, right? I mean, who better to reach than thousands of passionate protectors who are obviously interested in protecting kids? That's why they're seeing the Sound of Freedom. That's why they're going to watch it, right? So we asked last week if people would donate toward that. We're not sure how much. I mean, the guy basically said, hey, you're a not-for-profit. The regular per rate hour for a for-profit business is like $150 an hour, right? That's what they generally charge. He said, because you're not for profit, you let me know what you can do and we're going to make it happen. Right now, of course, I'm like, hey, $5? I wouldn't do that to the guy. So we did receive a couple of donations, and we do need a little bit more. So we'll talk about that coming up in a little bit as well. And also, we're going to be starting a new segment. We'll probably dabble in it this week, but next week it should be in full swing, complete with intro. Okay. A new segment called In Case You Missed It. How about that? In case you missed it. What is In Case You Missed It? I'm glad you asked. In case you missed it. In case you missed it is all of the stuff that our awesome people in the group have been posting and sharing every single day. There's so much news. There's so much education, awareness that a lot of it's getting missed. And we can tell that because of how many views it has, how many people have seen it. So we want to kind of touch on some of those things for the past week, kind of a recap. But we'd like to say, in case you missed it, it sounds cooler, right? In case you missed it. So we're going to start a new segment called In Case You Missed It, where we're going to just quickly review all the information, that we received during the week so that you can get caught up on it during the live show. And then you can check things out yourself too. So that will be coming up as well. And of course, your comments and all that good stuff. Maria says, or Mary Jo, it's Mary Jo actually. See, it's going to say Facebook user, and sometimes it's Maria from last week, and now it's Mary Jo. But she said, that is wonderful. They're showing the Sound of Freedom in parks. Yeah, absolutely. And what's great is Angel Studios, who produces it, have agreed to waive the rights to the movie, right? Because normally you have to pay to show it, right? And they said to these local sheriff's departments in the counties and to the Acme on the Go guy, and they say, hey, look, you know what? We're going to waive the licensing fees. Don't worry about it. We'll just give it to you so you can just show it, right? I mean, that tells you something right there about the people that are behind that movie. They're not about making the money. I'm sure that helps because it costs money to make it and to pay the actors and stuff, but they just want people to see the show. So that's encouraging, and it's amazing, and it's on a local level. And you see, that's what Protect Your Children is all about, right? There's Darkness to Light. There's other organizations that are nationwide. They tend to focus their message on a broad audience, and we do some of that as well. But our main focus on our vision and our goal is to create local chapters, right? And you've heard this. The Red Cross has local chapters. You got Bikers Against Child Abuse. They have local chapters. So our goal and our vision, monetary pending, of course, because it costs money to do this, is to have chapters all across the nation, right? And it starts off with one or two, right? I mean, that's how it starts. And so when we get these chapters created, then we can really focus on the local level, right? You're getting the information directly into the hands of neighborhood parents and in front of neighborhood kids. And that's how it spreads. That's how it spreads. And if you know anything about advertising, right, that's how things happen, right? If you got a new restaurant that's going to be coming into your area, right, they're not going to advertise to the whole state, right? They're going to advertise because you say we got a restaurant coming into Tampa, right? There, all of a sudden, billboards are going to be up in and around Tampa Bay or in Hillsborough County because it's all pretty close, right? And well, okay, great, And then once people start telling their family and their friends, hey, there's a new restaurant opening up over here, then it starts to spread out. But you got to have a core group of people, right, that you're marketing to, and then you spread out from there. And that's what our goal is. We want to be able to get local awareness events in as many communities as possible, have volunteers head up those events. We'll provide all the materials, we'll provide food, everything that's needed for it. But you get the information locally, and that spreads out from there. So we're excited about Sound of Freedom. We're going to be there, of course, handing out pamphlets and business cards and talking to people and taking donations. And, we're going to be involved in it as well. And we're super excited. That's coming up in October. And if you guys could be a part of that, we'd be very, very appreciative. We do want to throw the guy a decent amount. He basically said, look, you can have your ad running an hour before the movie starts. You can have your ad running on a couple of trucks during the movie and after the movie at all these different locations. Now, just think about the impact of that for a moment. If you appreciate the work that we do and the awareness and the education that we provide, we can multiply that and get it out there in front of thousands and thousands of people. But we want to be able to, obviously, we have to pay the guy some money. So if you can consider making a donation to help out with that, will be greatly appreciated. We did have 2 donations this past week. I think hopefully both of you got your tax deductible receipts. They were sent via email, and we're appreciative for that. So, all right. Now, really quick, notice something last week. Last week, the show ran about an hour and 5 or an hour and 6 minutes. About 8:30, 8:45, we jumped up to from what I can see, and it doesn't give me all the platforms, but I saw at 7, we jumped up to about 10 live watchers that I can see, the later that the hour got. So 8:30, 9 o'clock, more people were joining in. That's starting to tell us something. I'm not sure how you guys feel about it. You can put it in the comments, let us know. We may consider moving the show till 9 o'clock. A lot of times kids are definitely in bed by then. People have settled down after dinner. It seems to be more of an opportune time to reach more live listeners and watchers. So we may consider doing that, but we'll keep you up to date on that. So, all right, let's jump into this trucker story. Incredible. And this is what's so great. All right, we have a 9 o'clock would be great. See, that's cool. This is what we want to hear. Definitely. Oh, about the school thing. Tracy said, heck yes, I have to fill out forms and have a background check to teach Bible school for 2 hours, 5 days. Yeah. And the problem with the background checks is, as you know, and I just saw the stat posted this week again by another organization, 88% of predators have not yet been arrested. Think about that. So somebody can have a background check done, and just because their background is clean does not mean that they're not dangerous, right? And this is why learning all the signs and the warnings and the tricks and the traps and the threats, all these things, it all has to be done together. Because a background check's not going to say anything if somebody hasn't been arrested, right? So these schools, I think that's where they're stopping. They're just, we'll do a background check. Yep, came back clean. This person's good. Okay, that's all you're doing? That's all you're doing? That's all you're doing? That's it? Background check? 88%. Yes, 88%. And that's a pretty steady stat. Say that really fast. Steady stat. Steady stat. There you go. We've been reporting on that 88% number for years now. And I just saw it in a recent report they did. And it's, yeah, like 12% of abuse cases are reported. 12. Yeah. And there's reasons for that too, which, is on our website. We go through all that as well. But yeah, so all right, this trucker story. All right, let me share my screen here. We can get this share screen. There we go. All right, so this guy. All right, truck driver parked for the night and saw the craziest thing in his life at a rest area. I mean, this is alert. I love this being alert, and this is coming from a channel called Mother Trucker. Yes, it might be a play on words. It's possible, but Mother Trucker. But yeah, let's listen to this. It's about 4 minutes long. I might jump in a couple times here, but let's listen to this story. This guy's reporting on what the other guy did. And let me go to full screen for you there. There we go. All right, let's check this out.
What's going on, Mother Truckers? Welcome to Mother Trucker News. Email us at mothertruckernews@gmail.com. Wanted to start this video by just showing all the truck drivers out there something. If there is a kid out there that needs help, I'm learning that this right here is a sign that they need some help. So if you see this at a truck stop or at a rest area, please call the authorities right away. Mother Truckers, I've had so many drivers send me links to this, and I thought the situation was so crazy, but what this truck driver did was so amazing. And so the TCA announced the Highway Angel for discovering that there were caged kids in a pickup truck. Let's get into this story right here. So, this driver named Michael won this award recently, and he definitely 100% deserves it. It says here, it's an incredible story. On June 18th, 2023, around 1 a.m. in a border state, Michael was at a dark rest stop just off the I-10. A white pickup truck with a tarp and cage pulled up in front of him, and a woman got out the truck and went around back of it. She raises the tarp, and there's a padlock on this cage. Michael said, quote unquote, she takes the padlock off and opens it out, and comes 3 or 4 little girls. They didn't pull all the kids out. They put the lock back on, and they forced these kids to go use the restroom. Michael said the little girls he saw were no older than 3 or 4 years old. When the 2 adults and little girls came back out of the bathroom, the driver of the pickup forced the kids back into the cage, locked it, and covered the cage in tarp. Michael called the police and was able to walk around in the dark and read the truck license plate. Somehow, the 2 adults in the pickup truck must have noticed him, because they went out and quickly drove off. Michael actually started following them. Quote unquote, they got about 2 or 3 miles ahead of me, but I was on the phone with dispatcher. He said, next thing you know, the police pulled them over. Cops came out.
All right. Just, wow. Okay. I'm just saying, like, if I seen that, I'm packing. I'm just saying, I'm packing. I'm not even taking a minute, right? Are you with me on this? All right. Anyway, sorry.
From everywhere. Michael also pulled over and waited till the police were ready to speak with him to get a statement. At that time, they saw hammocks in there. They saw more than 3 or 4 kids. There was a whole bunch of kids. And he saved their lives, man. And 2 or 3 of these kids were actually on a missing report. So couldn't even imagine these parents, being hopeful that their kids are okay. And Michael, you were able to be a savior. And because of that, he won the TCA Highway Angel Award. And I just think that's so amazing. Mother Truckers, hand clap for this driver here. What an incredible story. appreciate you for risking your life, but it's just so crazy. Mother truckers, comment down below. But what a crazy situation. And the craziest part about it is one of the police told Michael that stuff like this in the border states happens all the time. But let's just focus on the positivity that, he was able to do the right thing. And all these kids are safe and okay. We we love you, Michael. Thanks for being a great representation of what a truck driver should be. So, for all the truck drivers out there, we're always on the road. Truck stops, rest areas, everywhere. You see this sign right here? Yep. Call the authorities. Mother truckers, comment down below. Appreciate you, Michael.
Wow. Is that awesome or what? I mean, it's awesome that he did something about it. And again, this is not turning your back, right? Not going, they're probably just on a road trip or something, right? I mean, I don't know if you can hear me when I chimed in there, but seriously, like if I see something like that around me, I'm not encouraging violence or anything, but gun's going to get drawn. I'm just saying, like, that's crazy, right? Obviously something's not right with the situation, but this guy was brave. He cared. He made an impact, called the authorities. Turns out a couple of the kids were actually missing. So now they're reunited with their family. Man, this is the kind of people that we want, right? Alert, paying attention, noticing when things are not seeming to be correct, and yeah, same here. He saved those kids, brings tears to my eyes. Facebook user. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it's powerful. And then the infuriating part is, like the police said to him, hey, this happens all the time in these border states. Wait, this happens all the time in the border states? Now, where's the mainstream media? Where's Fox News? Where's CNN? Where's MSNBC? Where is anybody but the independent media, right? Why are they not reporting about this? If this is happening all the time, why isn't it getting reported on? Why do you think? Is it political? Is it money? Is it because some of these media moguls and execs are maybe perpetrators themselves? Right? Yeah, the MSM is just vile. Yeah. Mainstream media is absolutely derelict in their duties. There really is no media anymore. And again, this is a show about protecting kids, so we're not going to turn it into a political thing. But, there's some sentiment out there that the mainstream media is basically dead. And they are. That they are dead. They cannot be trusted. You can't go to them for the news. And it's up to the independent media people to really expose stories and make them go viral. Right? But the media is not going to report on this, and it's so frustrating because we see what's happening, right? I mean, we know kids are being trafficked, kids are being abused, teachers are being hired and then abusing the kids. We know it's happening in the church. We know it's happening in the schools. We know it's happening in the youth centers. We know it's happening. It's all over the darn place. And every now and then, the media is quick to point out when someone gets caught. I'll give them that. You can find those stories. We're going to look at a couple in a few minutes here. But, they're quick to say, 35-year-old so-and-so was arrested for, sending photos to a child. Okay. They don't mind doing that, which I guess is good. I mean, it's awareness, right? But there should be a focus on our border. Like, what is happening right now? The border is wide open. And again, it's not a political statement. I would hope that Democrats and Republicans alike would agree on this, that having an open border where kids are being trafficked across the border, to the tune of thousands and thousands, and then they're disappearing is a problem. I mean, who sits by and does nothing about that? Who sits by and, sure, Homeland Security lost 40,000 kids. Yeah, they'll find them eventually. Yeah, I'm going back to drink my water or my beer, right? I mean, who can do that? Does anybody give a crap? Does anybody care? Well, certainly not the news media. Yeah, too much money is changing hands. That's the problem. Now, I think you're absolutely correct. There's money. Listen, why didn't Disney, a lot of people don't realize that Disney had the rights to the Sound of Freedom originally, right? Why did they shelf it? Why did Disney shelf it? They put it on the shelf and they never expected it to ever see the light of day. Now, why would that be? Why would a family-oriented company who just wants to entertain your children and give them a great day at Disney World, why wouldn't they want a movie to be shown that highlights the fact that kids are in danger? Could it be? Because Disney's got a pedophile problem. We've seen that over the news, right? Haven't we? They're not going to draw light to something that's going to get their own people busted. That's just the bottom line. And I think it's the same thing with these media people, these entertainment companies. They've all got these skeletons in their closet. You know what came out this past week? I don't know if any of you saw it. Some more of the Epstein client list came out from Jeffrey Epstein. And that's because down, I think it's in the Virgin Islands or somewhere, there's a lawsuit taking place. And they're going through discovery right now. And all of this stuff has to be turned over. And they're getting more and more information of all the names of the people that were hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein and his freaking ilk on his pedophile island. And it didn't just stop with Bill Clinton. It was Bill Clinton was there. Obama was there. Trump was there at one point. Bill Gates was there, several times. Ted Turner had been there multiple times. Listen, and Ted Turner is the head of what? Turner Broadcasting Systems, right? Come on. So we wonder why the media is not going to cover the fact that we have an epidemic of child kidnapping and child abuse going on in our nation. Because some of their own people are guilty as sin. You know what that means? It's up to you and it's up to me and others out there to expose it, to draw attention to it, and do something about it. Not remain silent, not keep our head in the sand, but to speak up and speak loud about it. Because they're sure as heck not going to do it. Yeah. The comment, and hell, some of them have graveyards in their closet. Absolutely correct. Forget the one skeleton, right? They got graveyards in their closet. But this is the reality. The time of saying that the government is going to help or that the news media is going to do their job has been well over for years. Now, we can't totally blame the masses out there because I think a lot of them just don't know. Because if they're getting their information from TikTok or freaking Facebook, right? And if somebody doesn't post it, they're not going to see it. And they're not going out there looking to see what's going on. I mean, who does that? Let's be honest, right? Now, we do because we're passionate protectors. But if somebody came to me and said, hey, did you hear what's happening with yellow Mustangs? I'd be like, no, why? Oh, you didn't look it up? Why would I look up yellow Mustangs? It's not even in my frame of mind, right? So it's kind of the same thing. People are going about their business. They're paying attention to the things that they do. And they just don't have any idea how bad this problem is. Unless Facebook and all different social media and people are talking about it, people don't have a clue what the heck is going on. And that's where, again, you and I come in. And the listeners to this show. And the listeners to the podcast after the show. Sharing, telling people, promoting it, supporting our work. All of that. That's how we get people to find out what's going on. Let's see. Oh, that's interesting. And I apologize again because I don't know which Facebook user this is. It says, I'm telling you, I could not find your feed anywhere a few weeks ago. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. I don't know what's going on with that. I've actually heard that from two different people that they couldn't find the live show, and I'm like, I had to send them a direct link to it for Rumble. So I don't know what's going on with that, but certainly any of our platforms, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook group, Rumble, you type in Protect Your Children Inc., you're going to be able to find our content. But it's sad that people actually have to go in and search for it now because it's not even being recommended anymore, except for the group. I still get tons of notifications for the group. I don't know how many of you guys are in the group, but there seems to be Mary Jo. Thank you. We're going to assume there's one Facebook user. Now, Maria from last week just sent me a message. She said she's going to be joining hopefully around 8:30. She also comes in as Facebook user. So if I get your names confused, just don't worry about it. You know who I'm talking to, right? So yeah, I mean, we have to do a better job. That's what we need to do. And we're hoping with the Sound of Freedom and this mobile advertising that is going to raise a lot of awareness. I mean, we're going to be shaking hands and talking with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people during those events. And so we're excited about that. But yeah, way to go on that trucker, huh? I mean, looking alive, doing something, making a difference. Absolutely fantastic. And he is a hero. So speaking of heroes, let's jump into our hero segment. Let me bring this up. It's a really short one, but still, well, it's not that short, but it's like 4 minutes. I was trying to mislead you a little bit. It's 4 minutes. But listen, this is powerful. And, we can learn stuff from some kids today. I mean, we follow a lot of people on our Instagram, and we get pretty decent stuff. Sometimes we get some whacked out stuff where we're like, what the heck is going on, right? But, we see a lot of stuff that some kids are posting, and it's really good. It's clean stuff. It's life-changing stuff. It's promoting working hard, being responsible, having faith, making a difference, helping others. So we love to highlight when kids do awesome things, because that's what we want them to do. And it's a reminder out there that if your kids end up being abused or raped or kidnapped, the chance of them doing great things obviously decreases, right? Because it's going to alter their life, sometimes permanently. Some kids do heal and they go on to take that pain and they become passionate, powerful protectors, which is great. We love to bring those stories as well. But these Hero Kid segments are all about, kids that are stepping out of their comfort zone and making a difference to help others. And that's what we love to bring you guys. So let's check this out. It's a few minutes long, but it's exciting nonetheless.
We're going to continue, though, with that ABC News exclusive in that deadly ambush in Mexico, as Mexico asked the FBI to join the manhunt for those responsible. The 13-year-old who hid his siblings during the attack, then walked 14 miles to get help, is now telling his story for the first time. Tom Yama sat down with him and his father. Good morning, Tom.
Robin, good morning to you. From the get-go, the government called this incident an atrocity, but now we're learning new details that are even more terrifying. As we learned, that little boy thought the killers were actually following him, yet he soldiered on to rescue his family. For the first time, the hero boy who helped rescue his siblings in that deadly ambush attack in Mexico sharing his story. 13-year-old Devin Langford and his father David sitting down with ABC News for an exclusive interview.
They just started hitting the car at first, like with a bunch of bullets, just started shooting rapidly at us.
Devin walking 14 miles for several hours to get help, not sure if the cartel hitmen were coming for him next, telling us about his painful thoughts along the way.
If there was anybody else out there trying to shoot me or following me, or about my mom and my two brothers died.
Devin detailing the moments that led up to the shooting. The gunman first attacking their relative Christina Langford Johnson's car in front of them, killing her, then firing on Devin's family's car when they drove up.
It felt real scary, and it felt like a lot of bullets.
Devin thinks one of those bullets hit the engine, his mom unable to move the car.
The car didn't work, so she was just trying right there, starting the car as much as she could, but I'm pretty sure they shot something so the car wouldn't even start.
Devin telling us the last thing his mother said.
To get down right now, she was trying to pray to the Lord, and she's trying to start the car up to get out of there.
His mother, Donna, and 2 little brothers, Trevor and Rogan, would not survive the attack. Devin says the murderers had long guns and were wearing what looked like bulletproof vests. The family convinced they were sicarios, killers for the drug cartel.
Afterwards, they got us out of the car, and they just got us on the floor, and then they drove off.
The children tried to flee, but as you see from this video, later inside of a hospital, most were too wounded, including sister Kylie, shot in the foot, and baby brother Brixton with a bullet wound to the chest.
We walked a little while until we couldn't carry him no more, and so we put him behind a bush, and I wasn't hit or nothing. So I started walking because every one of them were bleeding really bad, so I was trying to get in a rush to get there.
Devin eventually getting help.
To be honest with you, my boy's a hero simply because he gave his life for his brothers and sisters.
Now the Langfords, who are part of a fundamentalist Mormon group that lived in the area decades before the drug cartels took over, have left Mexico. It's too dangerous, too violent. 100 other family members following them in this caravan over the weekend.
Not only have I lost a wife and 2 children, but I'm having to move the rest of my family with really no place to go at this point.
David Langford had this message for the families in America who have been praying for them.
My message is to hold on to your family, because there's nothing like family.
And Devin wanting the world to remember his mother's legacy.
She was a nice person and a brave woman that tried to save her kids.
Now that family tells me their faith is actually renewed because of all the children that survived when they also came so close to death. And the father wants everyone to know his 9-year-old daughter is also a hero, Mackenzie. Like her brother, she walked for hours trying to find help, guys.
It's amazing they were able to do that and tell their story in such a...
Man. Could you even imagine something like that taking place? This kid walked 14 miles to get help. It gives me goosebumps just thinking about it. 14 miles to get help. Saving his brothers and sisters. I mean, how easy would it have been to run? Just to go hide so he wouldn't get killed. Just go hide in a corner somewhere. Go under the bed. Go in the closet. But this kid's a hero. He's obviously being raised right, with courage and bravery. And that's what we want to see. It's kids like that that change the world. It really is. And that's our hero kid for the week. You know, it just amazes me that the news, you know, they do cover these stories a little bit, but you know, there's probably millions of kids out there that are doing such great things, right? And the news is not going to cover that because crap sells. Let's be honest, right? Crap sells. They you know, people like hearing the negative stuff, I guess. Like down here, all the hurricane talk. Oh my, it started like 5 days ago. You know, at some point you go to YouTube and all you can see is videos recommended. Oh, hurricane this, hurricane that, the news, hurricane, every update, hurricane this, hurricane. And you're like, just stop. It's like, come on, we already know. Everyone's already prepared. They've already left. But they keep drilling it because that's what gets the ratings, right? Man, I wish there was a news network that would just highlight good stuff, because there's a lot of good stuff out there that's not getting reported on. Whew, man. Powerful. What do you all think? Yeah, Mary Jo said, what a mature young man. He is incredible. Absolutely. Tracy says, beyond horrific. Yeah. I can't even imagine. Tracy says, amazing what he just witnessed, including the death of his mom, that he could focus enough to get help despite his fear. Yeah. How does that even happen? Tells you a lot about that kid. And you can see him when he was choking up right there, just talking about it. But his heart's in the right place. and his bravery and his courage make a huge difference. Whew, man. Incredible. On that note, we have the, as I mentioned before, it's powerful. This is our ad here. This is going to be what's on the trucks for Acme on the Go. Right here. Learn how to protect your kids from predators when they're online and offline. Protectfrompredators.org. It's got our QR code. Protect your children now. And this is going to be on all sides of the trucks that are going to be at the Sound of Freedom. It's going to show before it, during it, and after it. And I also have arranged with the guy, as long as we can get a little bit more money, that they will actually arrange a package deal where they will drive around in the neighborhoods and on the highways in the Tampa Bay area with this on their vehicles. So if you want to help us out, again, you can visit our website, scroll down the donation page, make a tax-deductible donation. Or as you can see on the ticker on the bottom, you can donate through Cash App and Venmo as well. And tax-deductible receipts will be sent to you. If we can raise a bunch of money for this, it's just going to be a larger impact, just more of a reach, right? And it always feels weird because we set up our organization where everything that we offer is free to people who want it, right? Now, on our website, we have background checks. There is a $5 nominal fee on there. But let me just tell you, I think we've collected it once, right? It's kind of on there, you know, because we do have to pay for the background check programs. We search federal, state, and local government websites and things. And, you know, we have to pay for the programs to do that. So that helps to offset the programs that we pay for every month. But certainly, if you got a mom who thinks that she might be in danger or her kids might be in danger and they need a background check done on somebody, we're going to do it. We're not going to insist that you pay the $5, right? You know what I'm saying? There is some question about, we do need to kind of make sure we verify who's getting the information in case there's anything negative that happens from that information. The $5 fee does help with that because it does leave an electronic trail. But we have found out since then that simply getting the notification from our website from somebody with their email, that's good enough, you know. So we try to offer everything for free. So it does feel weird to ask for money, right? But certainly with these things, they cost money. That's just the way it works. So if you can help us out with that, we can reach more and more people with the education and awareness that we provide. So we thank you in advance for that. Again, protectyourchildren.org. Click on donate and or Venmo or Cash App, and it's going across the screen right there. So thank you in advance for that. All right, what's next? Let's look at some of these crazy teachers real quick. It's like, it just does, it's like, okay, we got these teachers, we know, we keep hearing about it. And it's like, hey man, let's just keep bringing it up. Look at this. It's disgusting. It says Martin County high school teacher arrested facing child porn charges. Okay. High school teacher was arrested on charges of possession of child pornography and solicitation of a minor. Okay. The suspect's a 34-year-old Antonio Capalupi taught automotive maintenance to high schoolers at Martin County High School and was booked into jail Thursday afternoon. The sheriff's office special victims detectives worked closely with the school district to make the arrest. Sheriff William Snyder said students notified the school on Sunday about questionable photos being sent between a teacher and a student over Snapchat. Freaking Snapchat, where the photos disappear so your parents can't see them. Predator app. Says children talk and they became aware that on Snapchat, the suspect was actually getting pictures from the teenage victim, who by then was 14 years old. Deputies said it started when the girl was just 13. Capalupi was asking her to take inappropriate pictures of herself and send them to him. Unfortunately, she did send the photos. This is where sextortion comes in, right? We've talked about this. She sent obscene photographs of herself that he kept on his phone, and she kept those pictures. Deputies said it was on those photos that landed him behind bars. He's being charged with 3 counts of possession of child pornography and 2 counts of solicitation of a minor. It's disgusting. It's terrible. Frank Frangella, Chief of Safety and Security for the Martin County School District, said, and the school principal sent out a letter to parents following his arrest. It said, in part, while our entire school community is naturally shocked and disgusted by these allegations, it was the many tips that were shared by our students, which, okay, awesome, that ultimately led to the comprehensive law enforcement investigation and subsequent arrest. So how cool is that, though? I mean, the kids stepped up. Again, they saw something. They said, this isn't right. Now, this gives us hope, right? Because there is an ongoing effort to desensitize kids to this, to normalize relations between adults and kids. There's this continual grooming going on through the music and the videos and the music and the celebrities and the, and social media and TikTok and everything. And it's good to see that there's some kids that were like, no, this is not okay. This is not okay. We need to take care of this. So, hands together for those kids. They make a difference. Absolutely. Yeah, Tracy said, well, that's one less, absolutely. One less. But yeah, isn't that something? What do we got here? Let's see. Let's see what we got here. So we got, tons and tons. I mean, it's just, oh my gosh. We got another Florida teacher. Here we go. Look at this one. We got another Florida teacher arrested for allegedly sending inappropriate messages to a 14-year-old student. According to the sheriff's office, the behavior demonstrated is consistent with predatory behavior. Yeah, you think? You think so? It's all over the darn place. This is in Hernando County, Florida. A teacher was placed on administrative leave this week after allegedly sending inappropriate instant messages to a middle school student over the course of several months. Now, let me ask you a question. The police basically said, yeah, we've got enough to arrest the person, which means they saw the instant messages. They saw that they're inappropriate. And what's the school's response? Administrative leave. Yeah, we'll just put them on administrative leave to see what happens. Okay, they sent inappropriate messages to a middle school student. You're fired. That's it. What do you mean administrative leave? I mean, what is this? I'm sorry, there's no benefit of the doubt when there's actual pictures of instant messages that are inappropriate going to a kid from an adult teacher. Come on. Where's the bet? Oh, we got to give the benefit of the doubt. Hernando County Sheriff's Office said detectives received a tip that the teacher who taught at the same middle school that the student attended was sending inappropriate messages. After receiving adult consent to search the 14-year-old victim's computer, detectives were able to review thousands. There you go. Thousands of messages between the teacher and the student, which were sent almost constantly for several freaking months. Several months. Thousands of messages. Parents? Hello? Are we not checking the child's phone? Are we not checking the child's computer? Is there not parental controls on any of these devices that would have flagged this a long time ago? No, of course not. Why would there be? Wouldn't be my kid. They would never do that. Not the teacher. The teacher would never do that. Although the teacher identified as 33-year-old George Bill sent most of the messages, the sheriff's office explained there was not much response from the students. Look at this freak. Look at this. The student allegedly told detectives the conversations were weird, especially because of the age difference between the two, but also because Bill initiated the contact daily. Oh, here we go. Police said the victim also admitted to feeling bad by ending the conversations because Bale had cancer and the student was his only friend. Sure. The sheriff's office said the conversations occurred via, what is that? What? Snapchat? Snapchat again? Text messages and over the PlayStation. Parents? Are we not checking the PlayStation for messages? Are we not checking the phones? Are we not monitoring the computer usage? Parents? Hello? Is this thing working? Mary Jo said, parents are not doing their jobs, pure and simple. Absolutely. Thousands of messages over several months? It's unbelievable. Sorry, I get a little fired up there. You know, of course, we're on the side of parents. We know that raising kids in this culture and in this world is tough. But there is absolutely no excuse to not have parental controls, to not be looking through their phones and keeping an eye on them. I'm telling you, if you're working so much that you don't even have time to go on Facebook for a minute, you know, the crazy thing is you put parental controls on a child's phone and on their computer and on their PlayStation. And guess what, parents, while you're at work, on break, or on lunch, you can check the app and you can monitor activity. You'll get alerts 24/7 if anything comes up strange. It's not like you have to be sitting down the whole day just looking over their shoulder. There is absolutely no reason to not monitor what your kids are doing today. None. And if you're not, then you're being ignorant to the fact that our kids are a target. That's it. Breathe, gotta breathe. Let me share this with you real quick. On our website, we have this here. Let me get. Let me get myself back on the screen. That'd be helpful. So, yeah, I mean, if you're interested, she says no sound. Well, let's see. How is there no sound? What? Tracy says no sound. Do we have sound now? Do we have sound now? Hopefully. Let's see. Let me know if we got sound back. Now, it could be because I was on a website that had no sound. It may have muted me. So hopefully we're back. Let's see. I think we should be. Oh, there we go. Somebody says, I hear you. So that webpage that was up, yeah, we are looking for volunteers that will teach our guideline packet. It's a 12-session guideline packet. You can teach it to a small group or large group. You can do it at church or synagogue or in your home or in your neighborhood or at the local Boys and Girls Club or at the library. You go to the library and teach these guidelines to people that'll come out. There's lots of places. We'll provide you with all the materials, a PowerPoint presentation, printed materials, brochures, whatever you need. We also will provide finances so you can get lunch and or dinner for your group of people that you teach it to. And all we ask is that you fill out the form on our website there and let us know you're interested. We'll set up a time where we can do a quick training. Excuse me. The training is basically we're going to quickly go over all the guidelines. If you have any questions about it, make sure you understand it. You make sure we know each other, better. Talk about the plan, places that you might be able to teach it. We can do that in it's probably an hour and a half, to be honest with you. We can do it in the evening or during the day, on a weekend. Excuse me, let us know. So, yeah, become a teacher. Volunteer. It's not pay. Again, we've had people email us and think it's a paid position. But listen, we wish we could pay people. But unfortunately, we can't even pay ourselves. Okay? So, yeah. But if you guys want to volunteer to help out with that. And again, like Mary Jo, Tracy, all you guys are so very passionate about this. You know what I mean? And this is an opportunity to kind of get a small group of people together, whether it's at your church, like we said, or at your home or your neighborhood or someplace, and just, hey, show a PowerPoint presentation, go over it with the people, or go over the guidelines, bring up our website and go over it with a bunch of people there, something, anything, right? But what we want to do from that is by you teaching the information to those local communities, right? That group of people. The goal is that out of that group of people, there might be someone else that will be willing to step up and teach it to some other people in their area, right? Or at their synagogue or their church or their place of business, right? And again, that's how it spreads. But it all starts out with getting people to say, hey, yeah, I'll teach it to 2 or 3 people, or I'll teach it to 10 people, right? And again, we'll provide everything that you need to have that happen. So thanks in advance for that. Yeah, I think because I went to our website, which has no sound, and I believe it muted me. So that's why there was no sound. But all right, that's about it for tonight. We ask you guys to stay alert, be alert and sober-minded, right? The enemy's roaming around like a hungry lion seeking to devour our kids. Be alert. Look out for things that don't seem right. Don't be afraid to ask questions. And for the love of God, keep an eye on your kids' phones, their devices, watch their behavior changes. There's things that are just can be very clear signs that something's not right. The fact that those 2 stories we looked at involve Snapchat and hundreds or even thousands of messages over months scares me to death, especially since we've been talking about the child the last couple of weeks that was seeking out predators. That went on for 3 or 4 months before anybody knew. You're right. And that's reinvigorated me to talk about this every week and just scream at parents and say, you need to get parental controls. And again, we mentioned Guardian. That's the app we talked about last week, Guardian. It's $10 a month. You can have it on up to 5 different devices. You can monitor everything from your phone. You get real-time notifications and alerts. You can set up keywords that if any of those keywords are mentioned, it'll alert you. If a website is visited that has any kind of inappropriate stuff, it'll alert you. If your child's sending a nude photo or they're receiving something nude, it'll alert you. Guardian, check them out. It's a great app, and their customer service is phenomenal. I reached out to them for an issue, and they got back to me the next day. Detailed explanation, fixed the problem. Awesome, Guardian. So listen, thousands of messages over 3 or 4 months from these teachers and these students, and the parents had no idea. So please, parental controls on the kids' devices. It's very simple to set up too. Guardian. They're not paying me to say this, but as an organization, we definitely recommend them. So check them out. Sorry to see that we got a couple that are joining on right now. We're just getting ready to end the show, But like I said earlier, I think in a couple of weeks, we probably are going to move the show till 9 p.m. It'll be from 9 to 10 p.m. Seems to be a more accessible time for people to join live. You can always catch the podcast. It's available within 15 minutes after the show ends on all of our platforms, Rumble, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and our Facebook group, and www.protectfrompredators.org, protectfrompredators.org. So you can check it out there. And there's Maria. Good evening, everyone. She says, let's see. Hello, Chris. Sorry I'm late coming, and I had an emergency phone call and I have to make. So this is Maria. Well, glad you're here. Unfortunately, the show is ending, Maria. So definitely catch the podcast, the replay. Be ready in about 15 minutes. And thank you all for being here. We appreciate you. And keep the posts coming. You guys are doing great in the group. The group continues to grow every week. Please share the group. Share the group. Let's keep getting people added to it. That's more awareness, more education, equals more kids protected. So thank you for that. I appreciate you guys. Until next week, stay safe, stay focused, and be nosy. It's the best.